yes, it's a pinch and a punch. The first day of the month, the 1st of November. Well, it didn't take long to get round to this, did it? You know, since the summer. I told you it all comes round so quickly, doesn't it? Not long now, in just a few days. Yes, it will be the fireworks. Now, don't go buying fireworks. They cost an absolute fortune. You can spend £100 on a box, right? And then you get these things out of the box and you've got to close the box and go and stand 10 mile away from where you're like. It's just not worth the money, seriously. Try and get yourself, I don't know if they're actually doing any, are they? Of the big displays anywhere, probably at the weekend, I guess Friday or Saturday, if they're happening. I haven't seen any advertised myself. We've just had Halloween, of course. Did you do anything evil and spooky? Spooky! Yes. Rachel Wheatland has climbed back into her coffin for another year, haven't you, my love? She'll be making another appearance. I wonder how many people are now being turned into vampires by Rachel Wheatland, one of our most adoring viewers from all over the world. Thank you to you. Anyway, talking of all things Halloween, did you see the new Doctor Who? Now, I've got to tell you, I like Doctor Who. I'm not one of those massive fans who can tell you every intricate part of every single story and how it follows from one story to the other. There are people like that in all sorts of things, really, not just Doctor Who, Star Trek, of course, the Eurovision Song Contest, people that... And it does amaze me, real fanatics over, there's nothing wrong with it, real fanatics over a programme that seem to know all these dates and things like that and where everything happens and how that relates to that in the story. And they love it. They love it if they think they found something wrong with it. Oh, hang on a minute. He said that about that. But 25 years ago, in episode 13 of Series 6... You know, they're a bit like that. But I like to watch it. And I have to say, I saw the first of the new series last night, and it's fantastic. I enjoyed every single minute of it. It's funny. There's some very funny parts. In particular, a talking dog. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. There's a talking dog in it. And there's some very famous people in it as well. I love it when you see a famous face because they all want to be in Doctor Who, you know. I mean, they keep asking me, but I'm just too busy doing these little shows to being Doctor Who. What sort of monster could I be? Ooh! I think I'd make a very good monster. I wouldn't need a mask, would I? Let's be honest. So there's a talking dog in it. It's very exciting. And the special effects, what's that there? The special effects are really very good as well. Where this mist, this mist of fire. I don't want to tell you too much in case it spoils it. This mist of fire comes towards people and just eats them up. You know, it's really good. And there's a cliffhanger. There's a cliffhanger at the end, which leads me to wonder, have they gone back to the old way of doing Doctor Who? Now, you remember 70s and 80s. Did it start in the 60s? I think it started in the 60s. 60s, 70s and 80s. What we'd have is a series of Doctor Who, okay, but it would be one story, okay, and you get half an hour, and at the end of each episode, there'd be a cliffhanger leading on to the next story. Well, of course, since Doctor Who came back, first of all, Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, the young bloke, the young good-looking bloke. Then we had Peter Capaldi, and now we got this lovely lady now. Since it come back, they've been whole stories. Each episode has been its own story, hasn't it? And I wonder if we've gone back to doing a series of one story. So you get a cliffhanger, which I personally prefer. I do prefer it like that. Maybe you prefer one story. So I do wonder if they've gone back doing that. Two of the old enemies make an appearance in this week's show. I will now tell you who it is, and I'll wave my hand, okay, when I've stopped telling you who it is, all right? Just in case there's anyone watching who doesn't want to spot. So I'm going to tell you how it is in 5 seconds, and then I'll wave when I've told you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The old enemies in there are the Sultarans, that's potato heads, It reminds me a little bit like Vectis Humphrey, actually. You look like a Soltaran, Vectis. And the Weeping Angels. Very, very scary. So 2 of the old people in there. Let me just wave and let people know I've said it. Okay, I've told them, don't go back or you'll find out who it was now. So 2 of the old enemies make an appearance. But the talking dog had me in blimmin' stitches. It really did. Especially when the bloke goes up to him. Because it's supposed to be like a scary thing, and this bloke goes up to him who is taken prisoner, and he says, "Are you soft?" and starts stroking his face, and he gets very upset, this talking dog. You've got to have a bit of comedy in this stuff. It's like the whole James Bond thing. You need comedy in this stuff. So that was that, and it had me in stitches, like I say, and that's the new series of Doctor Who, and we look forward to watching it again next week. My friend DJ Chris, he did say he thought they were all going to be dumped straight onto the iPlayer. They don't appear to have done that. And I'm pleased. I'm pleased because I do like to look forward to something, don't you? I mean, all this business about, putting on an entire TV series in one evening, I really think you missed something. You missed something. I want it all now. I want it all now. That's the society we live in now, isn't it? I want it all now. I don't want to wait. Well, you're going to have to. And I do think you miss that bit of excitement because there's a cliffhanger now. I'm looking forward to next Sunday, Hopefully we'll still be here to see it. You never know. You never know how much I love you. Okay, so that's Doctor Who. Do you have a favourite Doctor Who story as a matter of interest? Not a favourite Doctor Who, although of course you'll probably have one of those as well. My personal favourite Doctor Who. I have 2 actually, John Pertwee and Tom Baker were my favourites. But my favourite Doctor Who story ever was Planet of the Spiders, which was way, way back in the 70s. This is where John Pertwee became Tom Baker. And it was all about these giant spiders. That's Elizabeth Sladen, the actor on the right-hand side there. They're both gone now, sadly. But she played... Oh, Christ, what was her name? Sarah Jane. She played Sarah Jane. And as you can see, that spider on her back, that's like a worker spider. And the big spider in the background was like the queen spider. And it is just hilarious. If you ever get the chance to watch that, please do, because you will be wetting yourself because the spiders are just so unrealistic, and especially at the very end where this giant spider gets this blue crystal and she goes, "I am power! I am all power! Let me have the crystal!" and she explodes. I'd like to see a few people explode, to be honest. But do try and watch that. Do you have a favourite Doctor Who story? Perhaps a new one? Perhaps you were a fan of... do you remember the Weeping Angels, for example? Who were a relatively new baddie. Or Davros. There's another one I like. Davros. He reminds me of a few people, to be honest. One of which watches this programme, to be honest. But yeah, Davros, Yes, Doctor, the Daleks are my creation. Yes, Doctor. I love Davros. Those sunken old eyes. He reminds me a little bit of Prince Philip when he was alive. May he rest in peace. Davros, doesn't he you? Look it up. Look up Davros and look at Prince Philip sort of in his later years. He looked just like Davros. Shocking. But who was your favourite... do you have a favourite Doctor Who story or perhaps a favourite Doctor Who enemy? Stick it in the comments underneath there, or you can send an email if you want to me. There's my email address if you want to do something a bit longer. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and do let me know. All right. Played the organ yesterday at church. I was bricking it. I have to tell you. I do have sort of a piano organ type thing here, but it is not the same, nowhere near the same as playing an organ in a church with all the pedals. And I was just so nervous, really nervous. But for 11 o'clock Mass, I got there at 20 past. There was no one else in the church. I let myself in, and I have access to the key and all that business. As a trusted person, you can always trust me. Trust me. Maybe not in a dark room. You can trust me in a church. And I let myself in, went straight upstairs, and I ran through the organ, played the pedals, and it was okay. And I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe it won't be so bad. And it was all right. It was all right. Yeah. So we started with For All the Saints, you know, that one. I have posted that video on my Facebook if you want to have a look at that. You don't have to be religious to like that sort of music, okay? Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK is where you'll find me. You won't find me on Twitter because I got banned from there. Okay, along with about 2 million other people, because the algorithms detect what they think is abusive, and it isn't. It isn't. They're just stupid. They make up the rules as they go along. So I'm not on Twitter. Someone says to me, well, why don't you set up another account? Can't be bothered. It never really interested me, Twitter. Very, very limited. I don't think there's that many people on there. I mean, you know, as a global thing, there's probably hundreds of thousands of people. But as a percentage of people, say, for example, in this country, I think there's a very limited amount of people on Twitter. You know, I can't believe, for example, 10% of the people of the United Kingdom are on Twitter. It'd be interesting to see if we could find out any figures. Vera, there's one for you, my love, if you're watching this, darling. A little bit of research there, please, Vera. How many people, as a percentage of the UK, or maybe the world, are on Twitter? Maybe you'll let us know. We had 2 great karaokes at the weekend. They were both Halloween parties. Saturday, no one went in Halloween costume, except for me with my jacket on. But that's okay. 2 really good, fun, busy nights at the karaoke. Dan Woodhouse, of course, one of our viewers. I don't know if he watches the recorded shows, but Dan Woodhouse was, well, his eyes nearly popped out of his head when that girl come out on the stage with a big arse. Yeah, she was gyrating. He loved it. She's very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. And the boys love a big bum, don't they? The straight lads love a big bum. I mean, I've got a big bum. I don't know why anyone don't want it. Don't make sense to me. I don't understand. But she was lovely, this girl. And Dan's eyes, he was sitting there I was watching him at the front of the stage. I thought his eyes were going to go out so far, it was going to knock his glasses off the end of his nose. But a great night at the 2 karaoke. We're back, of course, karaoke. Do I have that on there? That's one thing I haven't put on my buttons. I must do that. We're back at the karaoke on... I can't find it now. Is that it? There we go. Back at the karaoke on Friday and Saturday this week, boys and girls. 7:30 to 11 o'clock at Central Station, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, all right? Do join us. It's all free entry, by the way. Sometimes people say, how much does it cost to come to the karaoke? Completely free. Just buy some drinks. Don't come in here and don't take the piss and not buy any drinks. I shall be very upset with you, and you won't be called to sing either. All right? Buy a bloody drink. Dan always buys a drink. He has a meal. He has a drink. He sits there at the table, and he has a good night. And I'm pleased you do, Dan. It gives me great pleasure to see people having a good time for something that I'm doing, if you see what I mean. So I'm really pleased that you do enjoy coming along on Friday night, okay? But Trump, did you manage to collect your eyes at the end of the night from the floor where you were looking at that beautiful lady? All right. No trick-or-treaters have knocked at my door, I'm pleased to say. I gather from my niece that to have trick-and-treaters, what you have to do is put a pumpkin with a light in it outside the front door, and then the kids know. Well, they shouldn't be on their own anyway. They should be with parents. The parents then know if your house is trick-or-treat friendly. If you see what I mean. Because you can imagine, I mean, I haven't got any sweets here to give away, really. I don't think I'd have to cut them all a slice of my bread. There you go, have some bread and butter. I wonder how well that would go down. I think I might head with eggs on my door. Well, I've got eggs. I could give them some eggs, couldn't I? I could give them some eggs if I wanted to. But I had no trick-or-treaters there. I think you're supposed to have a pumpkin out the door, and then they know if your house is trick-or-treat friendly. All right, did you get up to any evilness at all at the weekend? Do you have children? Did they go out and do trick-or-treating? Some of them, they collect buckets of sweets, don't they? Bless their little hearts. But, yeah, you shouldn't be sending them out alone. I hope you're not anyway. Vegan Bacon. Show. We've done 2 shows now with the Vegan Bacon. The last one, of course, yesterday morning, wasn't it? And I showed you that bacon. It just didn't work. My nephew, Gary, quite rightly points out that I cooked that particular vegan bacon too long. It does say on there 1.5 minutes. Well, I probably had it in there about 7 or 8 minutes. And that's probably why it went so hard and crispy. But nevertheless, I wouldn't have thought that would have affected the taste at all. So my sister has now suggested that I redo that one and cook it as per the instructions of 1.5 minutes. No more. So that's about 45 seconds aside in a hot pan. So I will give that a go again. I'll do bacon and eggs one morning, maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know yet. I might do it tomorrow morning. And we'll try that one out again. All right, my loves. On the subject of that, we've got a couple of emails coming in there. A delightful Vera, who is chief researcher here on United Kingdom Talk, and also for Reach on Air. And Vera writes, great reviews for the vegan veggie breakfast. I would like to see more. Okay, I get you there. In fact, Vera, my brother-in-law as well says you could do like test all this vegan food out and vegetarian stuff as part of the show. So I think we're going to do that as well, all right, as time goes on. She says I would like to see more. Also, the Quorn bacon you mentioned is a bit of a nightmare to cook. I find that I can never get a complete bacon out of the package. Oh, that was similar to that one, the second one that I had. It's very thin, isn't it? Why do they make it so thin? Those other ones that were like dog chews, they're quite thick. I was very impressed with the taste of those that we saw about 4 shows ago now, wasn't it? She says, I'm not a fan of Quorn. It's very bland. Oh, there's no taste to it. But isn't that like most meats? You know, I mean, when you cut up these bits of dead animal and put them on your plate, then you pour on all sorts of sauces or gravy or stuff like that, or you put pepper on it or some sort of spice. I think meat is the same, isn't it, as Quorn? There's not much taste to it at all. She says, Quorn is very bland. It was the only thing around at the time. Now with other products on the market, I don't buy it anymore. You could also try Richmond's meat-free sausages and bacon. It's so nice, you'll love it, and keep cooking. Thank you, Vera. And indeed we will do, because that's actually quite an easy thing to do. I just put my phone... it's a little bit echo in the kitchen because I don't have my... little microphone that I pin there. But nevertheless, it kind of works, doesn't it, to do that stuff in the kitchen. So we'll carry on doing that a little bit, I think. All right, my loves. I've got stuff in the fridge at the moment. I've got the Quorn peppered steaks. Now, I do know what they taste like, but we might cook some of those up as well. I usually do those under the grill, and I'll eat those in front of you as well. All right, might try them out on my mate, because I don't think he's ever tried them. He's not particularly well at the moment. He's got... he was very ill today. But then he had 3 jabs at the same time on Friday. And I told him, is that wise? I do feel that overloads your body a bit. I mean, the doctors may well say, no, that's fine. But to have 3, he had coronavirus booster, flu and pneumonia vaccinations, all in the same day. 1 in each arm and 1 in his leg. And I just think that's too much, don't you? I wouldn't want to have 2 in a day. Not really. I'll have 1 at a time. I'll have 1, maybe 1 a week. But I wouldn't want to have 3 injections all at the same time. Don't they say that was a little bit of a problem? I mean, not a huge problem, a very small problem with the MMR vaccine thing, that's 3 in 1, isn't it? You know, maybe we're just overdoing the body a little bit with all these things we're putting in it. Thank you, Vera. Let's have a look. Paul Adamson says, no such thing as vegan bacon. It's just something flavoured with chemicals to make it taste a bit like bacon. Oh, I agree, Paul. I agree. You know, it's flavoured. And the thing is, Paul, you can make Quorn taste like any sort of animal thing you want. Like the peppered beef steak. They taste just like beef. They do. Texture's not quite there, I would admit to that. And they do these pulled pork things which taste just like a piece of pork. It's all chemicals. It's the same with the meat. You put all this stuff on it, you know, and it makes it taste of something. Otherwise, why would you be putting that stuff on? You know. On a non-meat subject, you know what I like to do with my mashed potato? I like to put pepper in there. You know, that pepper. I have pepper potatoes. You ever have that? Try that one. Very nice. Thank you, Paul. David and Emmon says, where did you manage to buy those 24-inch diameter plates from? My mate gave me those, actually. I have no idea where he got them from. I would just type in 24-inch plates onto Google and see what it comes at, David. All right. And hello to my very good friend Derek John. Hello, Derek. You're right, darling? He's a lovely lad, he is. He says, have you watched them make vegan bacon on the YouTube? I haven't, to be honest. As in make it, not cook it, make it. No, I haven't. He says, I'm surprised mainstream has gone veggie and vegan. I'm impressed. Yeah, me too. Tesco's, I believe at the moment, Tesco's they've reduced something by 30%. Tesco reduced vegan. They have reduced one of their things by about 30%, I believe. Why has that come up as frozen? Here we go. There we go. No, that's not it. Tesco reduced vegan prices. Let's try that. Try that for your Dale. Vegetarian. No, it's not saying now. Okay, I understood on a story the other day, Derek, that Tesco's had reduced, I think by 30%, one of their vegan brands. I don't know what the one is, and I can't find it on here now. So that's good news, isn't it? They are pushing this now, aren't they? They're all pushing this stuff now. He says, I'm impressed. I used to be vegetarian for 5 years. There wasn't much around back in those days, and now the food has been a bit of a food revolution. Oh, yes. Yeah, there's like entire shelves. Even like Aldi and Lidl have a very good range of vegetarian and vegan stuff. If you like pies, they got the Linda McCartney vegetarian pies, which are just delicious. They're so nice. There's also a pie which I got in Sainsbury's the other day. Now, what was that? It might have been a vegan minced pie or something like that. Again, absolutely delicious. Not cheap. £3 for a pie. £3, which is dear, isn't it? It's dear, but very, very nice. There's a massive range of vegetarian and vegan stuff now. There really is. I would like to move further towards the vegan from the vegetarian. And some people, like myself, we can't just do it like that. It takes time. Eggs are a thing as well, although someone sent in a message about eggs, actually. I don't know where that's gone. I'm trying to keep an eye on all your messages, but to be honest, they come in all different places. If you could possibly just like put it in, perhaps in the comments, rather than Facebook messages and everything else, that would be really great. Then I won't miss it. But I try and keep an eye on everything and remember where stuff is. I can't find the message that someone wrote about that. Let me just scroll down a little bit here to see if I can find it. No, I can't see that now, where that's gone. I can't even remember. It was or is it this one here? No, that's not it. No, can't find it. I can't remember what it was now. It was something to do with the vegan and stuff. So if that was you, please send it through again. Was it Joy? Was it my friend Joy who wrote something? I can't see it now. Hang on. Perhaps if I could scroll down the messages. No, there's a Joy thing. That's Andy Baker tagged you in. Here it is. It's from Andy Baker. There we go. About the eggs. And Andy wrote in, Chris, I thought I'd try these from Holland and Barrett. Vegan egg mixture. Okay, you can make omelette or scrambled egg with mixture. My auntie has tried it and she said it's lovely. I'm getting some this week. And that's from Holland and Barrett. So I'll get some of that this week. All right, and we'll try that. How much is it? Jesus, £3.99. That's for 200 grams. I wonder how many you get from that. How much would you get from? Well, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? So I'll try and get that this week. The vegan egg mix from Holland and Barrett, and we'll give that a go as well. All righty. And hello to Ant today on the subject of eggs. He says, please don't put eggs in the fridge. Now, he's extremely concerned. You know, is this a health matter or something like that? No, it's not. Please don't put your eggs in the fridge, says Ant. The reason is, if one of the eggs hatches into a baby chicken, it would be very cold in the fridge and could die of hypothermia. Very good point. Come on. Let's have a bit more comedy thrown at me, please, if you don't mind. Love it. Love it. Thank you very much, Ant. And John Parrish is not liking the look of that vegan bacon. No, it wasn't particularly good either. All righty. How did you do with the weather yesterday? Jeez. It was ever so windy. I think it rained for quite a long time Sunday night down here in Bracknell in Berkshire. Yesterday, they said there was rain forecast, like from early morning right the way through until the afternoon. But I got the car out to go to church and play the organ, but there was no rain, and it didn't rain at all yesterday morning from about 9 o'clock. There was no rain, so a bit of a waste of time getting the car out. But it says here that a driver died in the sun after slamming into a tree as Britain was whipped by 80-mile-an-hour winds amid tornado fears. Where's the tornadoes? Oh, my God, blimey. I'm going to have my roof ripped off. It's already happened to me head. Look, my hair's been ripped off by a tornado, dear. One man was killed after his car spun off the road. Terrible. Terrible. And I know you've had a lot of rain. I've been keeping an eye, and even the Daily Mail as well. All the trains were cancelled out of Euston. It says storm causes COP22 chaos. That's the environmental thing. With Queen of Environment, Greta Thundenburg is up there at the moment, and all her little fans. Have you seen them all? Oh, dear me. Bless them. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. But all these protests and all that marching around, that's not for me, dear. I prefer a quiet life. Don't you prefer a little bit of a quiet life? Let's have the PayPal up if you want to send a tip. Don't all rush. Dear me. And winds, it says here, thousands of delegates stranded as all trains were cancelled out of London Euston yesterday. Torrential rain, 80-mile-an-hour gale force winds, and tornadoes batter Britain. I can't see where the tornadoes were. Perhaps it was a possibility of tornadoes. I don't actually see anything about an actual tornado coming. I'm scrolling down there very quickly. 87 mile an hour in Dorset. This is winds. 60 mile an hour, Dorset, Hampshire, Wiltshire and Sussex. So very windy yesterday. It was quite windy here as well. Anyway, fingers crossed, gang. I will be back for another show tomorrow, my darlings. Okay? As long as we are not swept away by a tornado. Now, do you want to hear me on the radio? I'm there every morning. There we go. That's tomorrow's show. You can find out. Oh, it says Good Morning Maureen there. Let me just... that says Good Morning Maureen. But yes, you can find that by going to reachonair.com, or you can listen on a smart speaker or Siri or anything like that. Reachonair.com. Let me just move that so that's a bit better. There we are. That's a bit better. There we are. There you go. All right. And we do have a lot of fun on there. It's just music and chat, and I'm only on there for an hour. Thank you very much. Have a lovely Monday, boys and girls. And remember, it's the 1st of November. Bye. Oh, isn't that annoying? You're not getting that music, are you? Where's the music gone? Oh, hang on a minute. I'll see what I've done. Sorry, what was that? There was a slightly amateur moment there, boys and girls, where you didn't get the music. We can't have it playing without the music. We do not want to live in silence. Thank you very much. Goodbye.